Okay, so I'm doing YouTube. Yeah, this is awkward as hell. Right, my name's Paul, and most of you that are going to watch these videos already know who I am anyway, because you've already subscribed to a YouTube channel with no videos, so good on you. Cheers. But for those of you who don't know, my name's Paul. This is my YouTube channel where I'm just going to be doing questionable automotive things to questionable automobiles. This is my KE70, bright orange KE70. Stop making it sound like it's cooler than it actually is, because it's a 1983 Corolla. It doesn't even have an engine swap, and it's bright orange. Yeah, when I bought this, it was Nardo grey, rattle canned Nardo grey. Different mirrors, different bumpers. It needed a lot of love. I'll put some pictures in. Actually, I'll probably put the video of all the pictures from the Facebook ad that I bought it off of. But essentially, I bought this 9 months, about 9 months ago, I think. And yeah, since then, I've gone and got these rear guards here. They're custom guards. So instead of being like these ones, see how these ones go flat like that. These are custom flared out factory guards still, but they're just flared so that I can fit wider wheels on. These are MA61 Supra wheels that I'm midway through polishing, and I'm just running a 30mm spacer, so it's a fairly big spacer, but it's okay. Also, as you can see, it's fairly low. Not as low as some cars, but it's pretty low. I'll struggle to get out my driveway. We are sitting on custom BC Racing coilovers made for the A86. The rears drop straight in. The fronts, you have to cut off the spindles and weld them. And that's about it. It's still on a stock motor. Well, a stock motor for this platform. It's got a 5-speed 5K. I think this came with a 4-speed auto 4K motor, so it's a little bit faster than what it was from factory, but these things are still, they're slow. I think it's a total of maybe 70 horsepower, but it is fun as hell. So my aim for today is to fix up this boot. For the longest time, well, for the entire time I've had this car on the road for the past 3 months, there's always been something about it that's just been bugging me that wasn't quite right. It wasn't, it didn't flow with the rest of the car, and I've nailed it down to being this boot lip. So what I'm going to be doing is, one, taking this boot lip off, and also rewrapping the boot, because I'm going to have to take the wrap off of it. Yes, this car is wrapped, it's not painted, and yes, I wrapped a 40-year-old car because I'm an idiot. But yeah, so first things first, we're going to take this boot lip off and then have a look at taking this wrap off and hopefully fixing the bodywork, because we're going to need the bodywork done. It's going to rip a whole lot of paint off. So, I got a bit carried away, and I've got a very, very badly laid down layer of primer just to seal it because it's getting cold and there's no way it's going to dry before tomorrow. So just to seal it, because it was raw metal, that's on there. Get another coat tomorrow, and then just slowly work away on sanding this back, getting it smooth, ready for wrap. So that's me done for today. I will pick the camera back up tomorrow when I put a few new coats of primer on it and get started on some other stuff. So, see you in a bit. Hello, and we are back. It's been about a week since I last picked up the camera and filmed, and in that time I've got this boot pretty smooth. I haven't bothered filming any of it because there's only so much sanding and hyperlapse sanding that I'm going to sit through, so I wouldn't expect anyone else to sit through it. So I've spent about a week getting this smooth and nice, and it's actually probably the smoothest and best it's ever been since I bought it. I'm very happy with it. There's a couple dents that are still going to be visible, especially once the wrap goes on, but it'll be alright because it's only two little bits. All these holes I'm hoping we can hide well enough. I'm not too fussed. Eventually I'm going to get this all welded and done properly, but for the moment it's not really on the cards. I've got other things to save money for, so we are just going to wrap it. There's a little dent here and there's one over here that they're probably going to show up, but that's okay. I'm not too fussed. Most of it is pretty smooth and it feels smooth. It looks good. It's good enough for the wrap. So let's get the wrap on. So for those who haven't seen wrapping before, I'm sure a lot of you probably have. This is pretty well the simplified version of everything that we're going to use. A knife, an applicator, heat gun, and most importantly to wrap. There's a lot of other fancy tools you can use to do corners perfectly and all that, but I don't have them at home, so I'm not going to use them. So yeah, that's about it. This is the last of my wrap, so I'm actually really lucky that I haven't used this because I didn't actually check how much I had, and I've only just got enough to do the boot. So I'm lucky I haven't used it because I was going to use it for my back of my seats, but I've had other ideas for them, and they're going to be for another video. So let's get into it. So there we have it. The boot is done. It's all back in one piece. It's all aligned, not perfectly, but good enough as I can get by myself. I am going to need a mate to help me eventually with the rest of it. But it's on, has no spoiler on it anymore, and in my opinion it looks so much better. The spoiler's obviously still wrapped. It's got some paint on it, but I'll just go through what this spoiler was. It was a Rocket Bunny style, some paint on it still. It's a Rocket Bunny style lip for this car, and I like it, and well, that's obviously why I bought it. So the way it's supposed to mount is like this. So it sits very upright and goes all the way down to the bottom of the boot, and that's just how it sits, like that, straight up. And I was never a massive fan of how that looked because it's a slant front and this is a very flat back end, and I just didn't like it. So what I ended up doing is mounting it backwards like this, and it's cool, I like it, but I don't think it's what this car needed. It just didn't suit the style and the look that I was going for. So I in turn decided to take it off, and it looks a lot nicer. Okay, so that's that for this video. Hopefully the chainsaw in the background stays quiet for a second while I can film this clip, because he's trying to cut some shit down and it's just ruining my audio. But that's that for this video. I'm going to not do so much as vlogs of daily what I'm doing working on the car, but I'm going to try and keep it as videos about specific parts of the car. Like this boot, I did over the course of a week, and I've just put together all the stuff to do with this boot, just so it's easy to follow and it's easier for me to edit, at least for the moment, until I get used to editing regularly. I'm gonna admit I'm pretty lazy with it. I've tried YouTube before and it was good until I didn't do a video for a week, and then I just stopped. Hopefully you can still hear me because they're cutting shit down over there. But I'm really happy with how this has turned out. You can see it's a little bit orange peely, but you get that with wrap. That's just how wrap is. This wrap's actually fairly glossy for what it is, and I'm very happy with it. You can still see all the little holes that obviously aren't welded up yet, but as long as you're not looking at them, you're not gonna see them. They're pretty good. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.